A bold plan to use taxpayer money to pay for private education, even homeschooling, is gaining momentum on Capitol Hill. A provision in the House Republican budget bill would provide around $20 billion over 4 years for a school voucher program. Supporters call it a historic win for parental choice. Critics say it's a backdoor attempt to defund public education. Joining us now is Erika, the chairperson for America First Policy Institute Center for Education Opportunity. Thank you so much for joining us.
Now, well, thanks for having me.
Well, first, just kind of like walk us through how this exactly would work, this federal voucher program, because it would extend in this case, because on the federal level, to all 50 states. It would be nationwide. Who would qualify? How would this work?
It is an absolute game changer for school choice because states that don't currently have any choice programs will be able to access this federal tax credit. It allows for donors, individuals, to donate to a scholarship funding organization, and that organization, a nonprofit, can turn around and use those funds for parents to make a choice of where their child's going to go to school, select a private school that is going to work better for their child academically, with safety, or that's more aligned with their values.
Now, how does this all work in terms of, supporters say this puts parents in the driver's seats, but what about Americans who may not want to support funding private school education, homeschool, religious schools?
Americans agree that having a robust and high quality education system is in our national interest. That is why we have publicly funded education. Unfortunately, that system is not working for a lot of families and students. We know that only a third of our students are proficient in reading and math, and many parents reporting dissatisfaction with the public school environment. So it's not a matter of whether we should pay, but who should we pay? Should we pay schools that are not working for students, or should we allow parents who love their students most and know them best to select the school that's going to work best for that child?
Well, this is not exactly new. I mean, this is already being tried out at some school districts across the country. Do we have any data, any evidence that this is actually working?
Well, in fact, long-term effects show that students in these programs are more likely to graduate, are less likely to commit crimes, and parent satisfaction in these programs is anywhere from 20 to 30 points higher than in their assigned schools. And so absolutely, it is working, and it's creating more options and more innovation in those communities that are offering choices because it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
I was reading this article, this report from the Brookings Institute, and they said that one knock on this is that it may not help some of the students that it's designed to help, whether it's kids in rural areas or even kids in urban areas, because they may not have access to those private schools because there may not be a lot in their area. How do you respond to that?
Well, that's exactly why we need more vouchers, not less, because we need to create an education marketplace where instead of the parent having to flee a bad situation, and that's what we're getting with these voucher programs, you're not comparing apples to apples. You're comparing students who were in a bad situation who had to make a choice outside of that. When we have a robust marketplace, parents are making the choice before an issue arises, not after. We want every single family to be able to select from a robust plethora of innovative school options that are going to work for their children. And in order to get there, we need more vouchers and more consumers in the marketplace, not less.
And what is your sense, final question, on where this is all headed? Right now, it's obviously in the House. Where do you think this is going to end? Do you think this has a good chance of actually getting through and eventually getting to the president's desk?
I do believe federal school choice will be in the final package. The version that's in the House is limited. It's not universal, as the president has stated that he wants for the American people. I expect that the Senate may change that and add back the universal nature for this program. And I do think it will end up in the final package, and the president will be able to say, promises made, promises kept, universal school choice for the United States.
All right. Thanks so much, chairperson for America First Policy Institute Center for Education Opportunity, Erika. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.